Hi, this is Carl with another SOP video for managed service providers. Today I want to talk about local docs, my docs, and storing things on the server. You know, one of my pet peeves is that Microsoft invented this thing where you have my documents. Ugh. It sounds like a really great idea, but it's strangely enough really great for a home environment, not for a work environment. In my opinion, and these are my videos, so my opinion is the one that I get to spell out. In my opinion, that's the stupidest thing you could possibly have. When I hire a salesperson, I want them to put all of their lead information into the company CRM or the company sales management tool. I want that pipeline to be visible to their manager, to me, the owner. When I hire a technician, I want their documentation of client processes and procedures to be on my server or my storage space, my cloud drive. You know, for us, we have the cloud on the S drive, S for small biz thoughts. And I want that to be the only place I ever have to look for documentation about a specific client, a process, a procedure. For example, if somebody's in marketing, then on the X drive, whatever your cloud drive is, there should be a marketing folder. And within that marketing folder, you might have information for specific campaigns, information for specific clients, information on whatever. Files that are for creating videos or creating signage or postcards or whatever it is. It should all be organized in a way that makes sense, and it never, in my opinion, makes sense for it to be located on somebody's private computer. I think most of us agree that storing stuff on somebody's C drive is not okay. It should not be part of your company policy. Oddly enough, Microsoft has actually made it easy for you to redirect my documents to the server. But the problem with that is they're still treated as if they're that person's documents. So what happens when that person leaves the company? Well, you have to have a process for going and getting all of their documents and putting them into public areas where they belong. Right? I mean, if you think about it, there shouldn't be sales materials that are only visible to one salesperson. There shouldn't be technical information that's only visible to one technician. Documenting what you do is central to managed services and to running a good IT department. And that documentation needs to live in whatever your public location is, whether that's on an iDrive, a Dropbox, Azure, whatever. There needs to be a designated place for all that stuff to live, and my documents is never the right place. Now, a bit of a follow-up on this. Some people create individual folders within, let's say, the sales area on the cloud drive. I'm not a fan of that either. I mean, what would be the point of it? If you think about it, like, is this going to be stuff where you're working on a specific client quote? Is this going to be documentation for a specific client campaign? If so, why not put it in the client campaign? If it's for a more general thing that's related to, for example, sales in Q2, well, why not have a Q2 sales folder, right? The point is, having all this personalized information feels good, and it's really great if you're dealing with a mom and a dad and 6 little kids. It's not the same when you've got an owner, a service manager, and 6 technicians. Company information needs to be in the company folders. Interestingly enough, this continues to be true at many, many layers. In Volume 3 of the Managed Services Operations Manual, I lay out the folders that we use for lots and lots of things. Basically, every year I create a new set of folders, so the root might be 2021, and then within that, sales, marketing, client-specific information, operations, finance, so forth and so on. I also encourage you to apply this philosophy to your clients, because they also have an operation where their salespeople need to share that information, their customer service, so forth and so on. All of the people in their company should have an appropriate place for this data to live. And again, Microsoft kind of did us a disfavor a long time ago when they introduced My Documents into the workspace. There's not really a point to it, and there's no place for it in the workplace as far as I'm concerned. Now, the next layer of this is, well, you should be doing this in the public folders for Outlook as well. A lot of people have been saying literally for 15 years, oh, public folders are going to go away, so don't use them. Like, okay, except, meanwhile, in the real world, in 2021, public folders are stronger and more capable than they have ever been. Public folders, again, I create a directory for the year and then put those subdirectories, subfolders within that in our Exchange. And then I have to make sure everybody's got the right permissions for that. But basically, when a salesperson finishes with a certain client campaign, they need to move it to that public folder. When a technician finishes documenting something for a specific client, they can put a copy in the public folder. So things that are in your Exchange, in your Outlook, can gradually get moved to the appropriate place in the public folders. And that way, if a person is removed from Exchange for whatever reason, maybe they just left, maybe they were asked to leave, in either case, you don't have a lot of extra work to do because things are where they belong, which is visible to everybody in the company. Think about how this fits in your organization and within your clients, and create a service ticket or 6 to make sure you put it into place. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Palachuk wishing you the best of luck in your managed service business.